Okay, as Councilman Zimmerman reminds me, the RBN 701 will start this meeting, and how about let's have our legislators that are now retired lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Play ball!
Hey! I take it that must be a tradition in the legislature, just a guess. And the RBN 701, I'm sure nobody has ever, 702, nobody has ever accused a politician of talking and not getting the job done on time, right? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Mayor,
Councilman Shetron.
I make a motion we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shetron, seconded by Councilman Berg. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The first item is Child Abuse Awareness Month. Because the state, we actually did this last meeting, and the state never contacted the local people. So I went over with Mayor Como and the Department of Family Service folks to get a picture yesterday. Interesting snowstorm to drive in. So I'm not going to read this again because I believe that we've done it before. But I just wanted to let people know that that is what happened. And because the state didn't notify the local people, we did the local promotion just yesterday. So that has been done for a very, very important issue, child abuse. Inexcusable. Okay, presentations. We have service recognition of Stan Blake and John Freeman. If we could have our two legislators just kind of stand by the mic there, and we're going to do a little presentation here. And we're going to start with Councilwoman Bushman is going to start.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is for Stan Blake. Representative Stan Blake served the citizens of Green River in House District 39 for 14 years, beginning in 2007. During his time in the Wyoming legislature, Stan served on 8 different committees, including agriculture, state and public lands and water resources, transportation, highways, and military affairs, and the Select Committee on Tribal Relations, which he chaired. Stan sponsored 16 bills and co-sponsored an incredible 233 bills. Among the bills Stan was successful in getting passed was the highly successful HB 39 wildlife conservation license plates, through which Wyoming residents could elect to purchase wildlife conservation plates, with the fees collected being used to fund wildlife conservation efforts, including signage, wildlife corridors, wildlife crossings, and game fences. A few of Stan's legislative colleagues relayed that he was the true gentleman of the House, his booming voice leading them all in Happy Birthday or Cowboy Joe. And Stan was always the house ringer for the House versus Senate karaoke contest. The only time he appeared on the House floor without a tie was when his own car slipped off the icy road on his way to Cheyenne, ran into a snowbank, and spilled all his freshly clean clothes all over I-80. Fortunately, a highway patrolman made a visit to the House floor to return lost items of clothing to Stan. But I also wanted to just thank you as well. We have personally had some dealings with the Green River URA, and I just want to personally thank you for helping with the donation to clean the pedestrian bridge with the Union Pacific. And I really appreciate that very much.
Okay.
Councilman Shetron.
The second presentation is for Representative John Freeman. Representative John Freeman served the citizens of Green River in House District 60 for 10 years, beginning in 2011. During his time in the Wyoming legislature, John held a leadership position as House Minority Caucus Chairman for 4 years and served on 11 different committees, including Management Council, Education, Travel, Recreation, Wildlife, and Cultural Resources. John sponsored 13 bills and co-sponsored an additional 94 bills. One of John's legislative colleagues note that he is passionate about our state's most precious resource, our children, and passionate about securing the best possible education or educational experiences for all of them. He was a formidable and knowledgeable ally. Another suggested that he would that when discussing a legislative issue, John would often start his comments with, "I'll try to be brief, but I am a historian." Then we all know it will be a little not brief. In addition to his service in the legislature, John was named Green River's Distinguished Citizen in 2017. Served the community on the Sweetwater County Outdoor Recreation Board, Green River Recreational Board, as a trustee of Western Wyoming Community College, and past president of the Wyoming Association of Community College Trustees. Coached youth soccer for 14 years and was instrumental in the formation of early success of Green River Greenbelt Task Force, which he chaired. So thanks for all that you've done for the city of Green River as well, and all you've done for the state of Wyoming.
Okay, guys, we're going to come down to a picture thing. We have some plaques for you, and
Cal, you're gonna actually have to smile.
Come on now.
put the mask back.
Yeah,
Why don't you?
any misspellings, it's recoloring. All right, here we go. Smile, 3, 2. Again, point that forward just a little bit. Got it, thanks.
Thank you. Now we get 15 minutes to speak.
Make it real if you guys would like to. Certainly welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Say what? Look at his t-shirt. You got a cool t-shirt on?
No, he's not letting me announce, but I need to announce.
Thank you, guys. Next item, B, communities protecting the green. Jason? See you, Stan.
Thank you.
Mayor and Council, Jason Palmer. I'm one of the board members of Communities Protecting the Green Committee. Recently, we actually, no, I'm not going to say recently. In the last year, we've been looking at the scope and the focus of Communities Protecting the Green, and it's come to us that originally that was formed to basically proceed with litigation for any out-of-state water diversions with the Green River. Since that time, we've come to the conclusion that that's not really the good scope for that committee. So what we're proposing going forward is a new cooperative agreement and basically dissolving the Communities Protecting the Green and creating a Sweetwater County Water Users Coalition. And this will give Sweetwater County one voice on the use of the water with the Green River. And so we have one unified voice going with the Colorado River Basin from Sweetwater County. So what I've got tonight is I do have a letter from Richard Matthey that I'll hand out during the break. And then I also have a copy of the cooperative agreement so you can look over this thing. We will bring it back May 4th to the council meeting for actions. We will look at 3 motions that night. The first one being dissolving the Communities Protecting the Green organization. The next would be the approval of the mayor to sign the cooperative agreement with the Sweetwater County Water Users Coalition. And then the third would be to reappoint myself back to the new coalition, and then to reappoint the two countywide members, which is Brian Seppi and Richard Matthey. With that being said, Richard Matthey, at some point this summer, will be moving out of county, out of the Green River Basin, and we will have to find someone else to replace him at that time. But that will happen when that occurs. So that's kind of all I've got right now. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to entertain that.
Anybody have any questions for Jason? Does everybody know Jason and what he does for the city?
I'm also the environmental system superintendent, also with basically formerly utilities. So,
okay.
All right.
So that's why he's perfect for this position, and he speaks up well in the group. Okay, Jason, very good.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to the May meeting and acting on these things. And you guys, read the documents. If you have any questions or comments, we'll be able to address them then. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jason. Okay. See you, John. I guess we were going to adjourn for a few minutes to let the legislators duck out, but they've already done so. So. Okay, item 6. I'm just gonna. Citizens request and other communications. Are there any citizens in the audience that are not on the agenda that would like to address the council? If they are, they're invisible. Okay. Item 7, board and committee appointments. Appointment of Bonnie Tippy to the URA Main Street Board. Bonnie, I'm just going to read this unless. Bonnie Tippy has volunteered to serve on the URA Main Street Board. She has been a small business owner for over 20 years. I recommend the appointment of Bonnie Tippy to the URA Main Street Board, filling Sherry Bushman's term expiring September 17th, 2024. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Councilman Berg.
I move to confirm the mayor's appointment of Bonnie Tippy to the URA Main Street Board, filling Sherry Bushman's term beginning April 21st, 2021 and expiring September 17th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Berg, seconded by Councilman Shuttrin. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Item 8, resolutions. Item A, consideration of a resolution accepting rec mill grant funds from Sweetwater County School District Number 2.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Brad Rainey, Parks and Recreation Director. A little while back, we applied for several grants to the rec mill board, and this is one of them. We were approved for all of them, but we need to increase the budget so we can spend the money. So this particular run, we asked for some money to replace our gymnastics mats. We have a really popular gymnastics program that's pretty much full every month, and so this is just to approve that resolution so that we can spend those grant funds.
Okay, thanks, Brad. Anybody have any questions? Pretty straightforward. Okay, we'll entertain a motion then.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Bushman.
I move to approve the resolution accepting the MI grant funds for Sweetwater County School District Number 2 in the amount of $6,791 for the replacement of the gymnastics mats.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilwoman Bushman, seconded by Councilman Kilpack. Is there any discussion? Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, consideration of a resolution accepting grant funds from the Rocky Mountain Power Foundation.
Similar resolution here. Not too long ago, I received your approval to apply for this grant to the Rocky Mountain Power Foundation. We were successful. This is the amount that they've granted us to plant some trees. We're looking at about 21 trees. Most of them will go at the cemetery because that's where most of the damage happened. We'll probably plant a few others in other places, and we'll continue to work towards replacing all those trees that we lost. We'll probably plant these. The current plan is at Arbor Day, and the Arbor Day event is tentatively planned May 13th at from 4 to 6. It'll be a little different this year, more of an open house style where people can stop by, see the trees that were planted, and pick up their little seedling tree that we'll give out. There's still tree board's still working on some more plans with that event, but that'll all be tied in with this grant, and Rocky Mountain Power will probably be there to present the check for the photo op that I think Reed did for another one today. But anyways, any questions on this?
Any questions or comments from council? Brad, I have April 30th on my calendar. Was that a date, or is that just something I made up? Or
I think it was a planning meeting that Ron Wild had just sent out as a calendar invite, and I think that's been canceled or moved to May 13th.
Okay, so I can adjust that. Any other questions or comments? Councilwoman Bushman.
I just have a comment. I just want to just kind of give praise to Rocky Mountain Power. They've been so instrumental with our city, the whole county, and they're always willing to donate when there's a need. So I just kind of wanted to give a plug for them.
Yeah, they've been great to work with on many levels, but Ron Wild he reached out to us and encouraged us to apply for this. So they have been great to work with.
Well said, Councilwoman. I mean, there's hardly a month that goes by that you don't see something in the paper that they're not doing and contributing, and they're doing things, and they're always contributing as well, significant. So, okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Zimmerman.
I move to approve the budget resolution increasing the general fund in the Parks and Recreation Maintenance Program in the amount of $3,750 for the replacement of trees within the city.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilman Kilpack. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Brad. Let's see, what are we on? Council action items. Item A, consideration to award the bid for police body cameras to Watchdog Video Incorporated. Chief?
I'll actually take this one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Mayor,
I didn't even
council
look up.
members, Sean Sterlickson, Green River PD. The police department initiated a body camera program roughly 10 years ago. We're still using the original equipment that we bought then, with the exception of a few cameras that have been replaced. As with any technology, they're reaching their useful lifespan, as is the evidence system that we use to store the videos. About 2 years ago, we initiated a process to start an upgrade for those. Had a few hiccups, that's why it's taken so long. But we were recently able to put out a bid for that, and WatchGuard Video placed the winning bid on that. So I'm here to ask you to award that bid to WatchGuard Video and to authorize the mayor to sign the customer agreement that came with that bid.
Okay, thanks, Sean. Does anybody have any questions for Sean? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Kilpack.
I move to award the bid for the police body cameras to WatchGuard Videos Incorporated in the amount of $43,444.30 and to approve the master customer agreement.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Kilpack and seconded by Councilman Zimmerman. Is there any questions, comments, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Item B, consideration to authorize the submission of a grant application to the Sweetwater County Joint Travel and Tourism Board.
Another grant. This is one that we put in for several times a year. I think at last council meeting, you approved a grant agreement for Art on the Green. So this one is, we're looking for permission to apply for the grant for the volleyball tournament we put on in November that attracts people from out of town. and we were not able to do it this last November. So we're excited to be able to put it on again and hopefully get a little money to help us with the event.
It's another organization that helps out a lot, the Sweetwater County Travel and Tourism. Any questions for Brad? Okay, let's have a motion.
Yeah, Mayor,
Councilman Jost.
I move we approve the submission of a grant application to the Sweetwater County Joint Travel and Tourism Board in the amount of $1,000 for the 2021 co-ed Tough Turkey Volleyball Tournament.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Jost, seconded by Councilman Berg. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, it's unanimous again. Item C, consideration of a change order number 1 for the 2020 Green Waste Processing Project to Longhorn Construction Incorporated.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mark Westensco, Public Works Director. A few months ago, we put out a bid for the processing of the green waste piles that had been generated over the last few years. Predominantly, the largest of the piles that was generated during the September storm that was accumulated down at the rodeo grounds. The 3 piles were one that has been accumulated over the last couple of years up the old closed landfill, and another one at the cemetery pile. That project was awarded to Longhorn Construction. They have completed that work. They've cleaned up the areas, and we're ready to close that job out. As with many of our construction contracts, we'll finish that job with a change order. In this particular case, it's a deductive change order. The items of work were all under the estimated quantity. One of the items was significantly under the estimated quantity, which is why there's an adjustment item in this change order that we typically don't see, but it is allowed under our typical public works contracts. So present for you the deductive change order to close out the green waste processing job. We'll have the release of retainage at the next council meeting.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Mark? So we're going to gain $12,000. It's always a good thing, more or less. Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I move to approve the change order number 1 to the 2020 Green Waste Processing Project in the deductive amount of $11,979.98 and authorize the mayor to sign the change order.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shuttrin, seconded by Councilwoman Bushman. Any further discussion? Notice I haven't stumbled once yet.
Perfect.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item D, consideration to approve the district's 4th annual operating plan agreement.
Mayor, Council, Larry Erdman, Fire Department. This annual operating plan is the agreement that we've had for the last several years with other fire agencies throughout the community, and with it being wildland season, this is based on wildland fires. So basically is what this plan is for, is to allow us to help county, BLM, other agencies for the first 24 hours and not charge them for our services to that. And then after that, we can charge for our services on different fires, whether it's local or state fires. And then also that gives us the ability to call these other agencies to come in and help us if we was to get into a wildland urban interface situation within Green River here. So basically asking to approve the District 4 AOP for this year.
Okay, thanks, Larry. Does anybody have any questions for Larry?
I had one quick one. I think, did we use them last year? Did anybody use our equipment or services last year?
So last year we didn't use their services, but we have gone out and helped out with county and BLM on several fires, and we usually get out there fairly quick and get the fires put out within the first couple hours. I mean, we're pretty quick at that. On this side of the 95 in our county is all we did last year. Last year with COVID, another thing that happened is BLM authorized all agencies to be able to use their aircraft to put out fires. So we have access to that with this without being charged for the use of the aircraft.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody have any other questions, comments? Okay, well, let's have a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Zimmerman.
I move to approve the District 4 Annual Operating Plan Agreement and authorize the mayor to sign said agreement pending legal review.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilman Shatron. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mayor,
Councilman Kilpack.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Kilpack and seconded, was that you, Councilman Berg? Seconded by Councilman Berg. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. City Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Only one thing tonight, I just wanted to, just going off of the Rocky Mountain Power aspect and the help that they did. The SCDC received a check from them in a presentation for $10,000. We revamped the website, revamped some of the branding, logo, the colors, that kind of thing, which I think is going to be a very positive thing as we move forward, as we do going into some of our recruitment on that side. And they've been real helpful, and that was a big donation for a small budget that we have, that, you know, trying to get that growing. So thank you to them again. That's all.
Thanks, Reed. Mr. City Attorney.
I have no report tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Galen. We're all starting to undress here.
I had a quick question though.
Go ahead, George.
Galen. I heard you guys talking about the dam up towards Jamestown and stuff, and I just wondered what's going on there. Do you guys got a report of any kind on that yet?
I'll hand over to Galen too. We did receive a number of the documents. There's a pile of documents that have been done with that. Galen has done a memorandum of what he feels as part of those documents. We're still waiting for some additional ones that Brad is pulling from the vault on that side. And we also have, at that time, we'll add on to the memorandum, and then we'll probably have either a workshop and or an executive session, because it's dealing with the contracts on that side of it, to see which direction we want to go. Brad has reached out to the Game and Fish and a couple other entities who are willing to help relook at some of the engineering on that to see if they can get it fixed. They've found some calculations and with runoffs over the years that may need to be addressed that could fix that problem, may have some money for that. They would be a part of that if that is one of the solution directions that we move it. So I'd say probably sometime in May we'll have that discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Kilpack.
I'd like to thank the Parks and Rec Department for the work that they're doing down in Edgewater Park. I don't know if anyone has driven by there. They've put in a new playground down there, and it's really nice. And so thank you for the work that's being done down there. And I'd also like to thank the Parks and Rec Department for the grants that they have received or are applying for, which is a total of $11,541, that's money that we can save because of them picking up those grants. And I'd also like to thank the police department, even though you guys do a great job, with all the trouble that's been going on throughout the United States with the police and a lot of the problems. I think these body cams, even though I think you already have some, but these are other ones. I think it's great to get them to have any form of protection for the work that you guys do. And so my hat's off to our police department and as well as our fire department. And in times past, I can remember even way back when George was on the city council, 100 years ago, well, maybe not that long, 99, but we used to hate to have change orders come. We just hated them because they always cost us money. So it was good tonight to see a change order come through. So thanks, Mark, for the change order of a savings of almost $12,000. That during budget crunches, that's always good to put some money back in the pot. And Wednesday night, I met with the planning and zoning. They had a meeting. They had an item that they had to vote on. And I want to tell you, our planning and zoning group, that commission is really sharp. They did a great job. The city made their presentation, which was very explainable and very logic, and it was easy for them to make the proper decision. So hats off to the city, and also hats off to volunteers that are willing to put in extra time and do things for the benefit of the city. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Kopak. Councilman Jost.
Yeah, I was thinking about that change order also. This afternoon, I guess I drove up Riverview. That was where I first learned about change orders. It was like about $100,000 overrun on Riverview because they had the asphalt quantities wrong. It was I don't know how they did it, but it was a mess. And we were really in a bind with it. That I didn't even know there was such a thing as change orders when I first got on city council. And it was like, man, I didn't want to do it. So I voted no. I can remember that. And they said, well, you got to have it. We got to pay it one way or the other. I said, no, we don't. I just didn't get it, but it was quite a deal. It took a few meetings to get it worked out, but it was quite a process there. I had to laugh but the change order idea reminded me that when I went up Riverview. Looks like it's about due again for some more work, but I just thought of that. Thank you.
Thanks, George. Councilwoman Bushman.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to give a report out on the central purchasing that I'm with the county. So we are looking at janitorial items as to put a bid out to be a commonality. So such as toilet paper, garbage bags, what have you. So we have one pricing. So they're going to iron out a couple more things before the first bid goes out. But I want to give kudos to Mara and her finance department that's been actually assisting and providing the information to our county level. So I really appreciate her a lot. And I want to give a shout out to the employee spotlight that was in the newsletter. I love that, to Matt Easton and Patty Hastings. I love seeing that. We have that at our work as well. And it's always nice to know who that person is behind the email or, behind the phone call. So I really like seeing that. And then just for our public view, just to let people know that we have about 10 business licenses on average since January of 2021. So that's good that we are seeing that. And then just if anyone knows, there's Run with Badges this Saturday. Also, there's a free concert at the Legion at Saturday. It's all ages, no cover, and it's called Fly Over Town. It's a country music. And then a huge shout out for Green River High School Wolves, who are on their way to Walt Disney World, first team in Wyoming, for the National High School Cheerleadership Championship. So we're excited to see how that transpired. But what an experience for them. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Bushman. Councilman Shuttrin.
I'd just like to give a little bit of a positive to Wyoming Waste for the increased communications on any of the delays that they've had. They're doing really good with the communication, both electronically, and I've actually gotten personal phone calls when they're going to delay services. Then a reminder, there's a ribbon cutting for the Green River Bowling Center for the new ownership, and that'll be Thursday evening at 5:30. So anybody that can come out and help support a new local business, it'll be a good thing to do. I mean, all these people are trying to live their dreams through entrepreneurship, makes the community better. So we need to support them in any way we can. Just like tonight, we had one for Champion Services. I don't know if they got a new location for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical for residential areas. So that's about all I have this evening.
Thanks, Councilman Shuttron. Councilman Berg.
I just wanted to basically thank the mayor for the workshop that we had last week. Something that Gary and I had really started pushing for about 4 years ago was to hold workshops. And I think our idea was it would be a goal-setting type of workshop. And we really accomplished that last Tuesday. So thanks, Mayor, for doing that. And I want to thank the staff that came and helped us out with that. You guys coming out on your night that you're not usually expected to come out and work. You guys showed up and we're smiling, and that was awesome. So thank you guys for doing that. That's all I've got, Mayor.
Very good. Thanks, Councilman Berg. They're still smiling too. Councilman Zimmerman.
All I'd have to say is don't shop out of the area and don't buy foreign. Thank you.
Had to play into it.
That was very good. What is this? Shop local, buy American. Who's ever said that?
Yeah.
He has.
So this is obviously a very good message that Councilman Zimmerman reminds us of every council meeting. Shop local and buy American. That's a good thing. So we have these T-shirts and we'll be wearing them. Thank you for the inspiration. You've got one. We just didn't give it. Oh, pardon me. There you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Make sure that's an extra large.
So I only, I just wanted to mention the champion business that Councilman Shuttron mentioned. It's right by Chopsticks. If anybody's not, there's Chopsticks, and then I think there's that smoking, whatever it's called, business. And then Champion is right there. I don't know what was ever, what was it? Fastenal. Yeah, it was where Fastenal was. So anyway, great to have a new business. And also, of course, as Councilman Shuttron mentioned, the bowling center, that'll be good. I think that just hearing the legislators that were here, I think that we should have a Cowboy Joe song, and we should be singing it at every meeting. And I'm somewhat serious too, by the way. So we'll see what we can do on that. See if we have anybody that can actually sing, and that we'll get some music and stuff, and we'll just be happy as can be. And I'll just kind of end with what John Freeman did and Stan Blake was absolutely, it was just short of amazing. They put in many, many years. And when you look at and just listen in on those meetings and the number of bills that they have year after year after year, and then they have all the sessions in between the sessions, it's absolutely amazing the amount of time that those two guys have put in for the benefit of the city of Green River and a number of other areas within Sweetwater County. So again, hats off to John Freeman and Stan Blake. They really deserve our appreciation. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttron.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's moved by Councilman Shuttron, seconded by Councilman Berg. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?